Come on, let's go. Come on.
So we're back here. It's 2012.
You're a wiener.
I love you,
Schultz.
I'm
You're
sorry.
a wiener.
The man who ruined Christmas right here.
Let's do it.
It's 2012.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do this, man.
Boo.
Thank you. I'm playing heel tonight.
We have legit, no shit. We have our shirts off for this.
They do.
We're coming back in style.
Shirts are off for this show. I feel slightly uncomfortable in this situation.
You can be less comfortable or less uncomfortable if you join us.
Oh my god.
I'm telling you, man.
Peck's doing push-ups because he's perfect.
He looks like that werewolf from Twilight.
Nice.
Except not as lame.
Like that.
Look at that. What's 2012? It's the first wrestling show of the new year.
I think we should let's talk about the big long hiatus.
Yeah.
Okay. So my excuse pretty much was at grad school and work pretty much.
I had internship and graduation.
I think just pure laziness on my end. I have no excuse. What was I really doing?
Pretty much. I wish we could have done Skype, but that call recorder we have just
We had
sucks.
some trouble, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's 2012, and this is the first show, and boy, we're in trouble.
Yeah, we are. Here we are, half naked.
Well, that and wrestling in general.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're seeing record lows in ticket sales, attendance. They're hurting.
We're
They
like
had to, cancel a tour in Europe.
Which is shocking. 'Cause
Kinda
normally
bad
they
news.
do well
Right,
overseas.
yeah, especially Britain. And this is Sting's last run there, supposedly. So you think people would be lining up around the block to see that, but no.
this is almost like 1995 Mantar panic here. I mean, this is bad. I mean, there's nowhere to go here.
Who was Mantar?
He was Norman the Lunatic.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
still have my preview magazine for King of the Ring 1995, and the featured breakout superstar that they talk about as a newcomer is Mantar.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's scary.
I remember when he came out too. It's kind of weird, but that was like that weird WWF time where just anybody could show up, and why not? Because we don't know what else to do.
I think the biggest problem is we're getting to that point. All of our heroes are getting old. Some of them are dying. Some of them are retiring. This year, we've seen The Undertaker not wrestle since WrestleMania last year. It's January 2012. He hasn't been seen since April 4th, 2011, something like that.
Yeah.
Edge had to retire due to a lack of cerebrospinal fluid in his back and neck. He's gone. Orton right now, sidelined with a back injury. SmackDown stars are getting shuttled over to Raw just to compete in squash matches so people know there's still a show on SmackDown. They brought back Mass Kane, that's great, but he's feuding with Cena, and he managed to make Kane boring. So
I know, yeah, which is shocking.
I
Absolutely
didn't think that was
shocking.
possible. And now we're seeing just a complete lack of organization with the writing, and WWE's blaming its own stars, basically, for a drop in the ratings when it's the writing,
It's all
not
creative.
the superstars.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Vince Russo problem, Let's blame everyone else, but we all know what the problem is here.
People have gotten behind Zack Ryder. I'm not necessarily one of them, but I'm not hating. He's okay. He's something unique. We haven't seen him before. His YouTube show is hilarious. That's good.
Yeah, I'm picking up a lot of Skyrim in this.
So, we got that going on, and then, CM Punk, who should be the new face of WWE, they had that huge opportunity with him in the summer, and they just completely missed the boat on it. They mishandled it. Right after Money in the Bank, he ends up dropping the title to Del Rio. Feud with Triple H never happens. Things with Nash never happens, and it just, it's horrible.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
I can't believe Kevin Nash just fell off the face of the earth. That's what you get.
Well, supposedly he did get nasal fractures from the sledgehammer shot, but who knows? They did have the match, him and Triple H in a ladder match, which was hilarious and not that bad actually. But
see, I find that shocking.
yeah, we were expecting it to be one of the worst matches ever, and they did a good, solid job. But TNA at the same time too, I think a large source of the problem is we all watched Bound for Glory together. We were tremendously disappointed by the lack of a big arena for their WrestleMania, Bobby Roode's push being sidelined for any amount of time, Bobby Roode being turned into a heel, Hulk Hogan stealing the show,
Yes, yeah.
and now just this string of one lame thing after another, like War Within Fortune. I didn't even know they were still together, and now they're fighting still. Bobby Roode's champion. He still doesn't have a finishing move unless it's the Fisherman Suplex. TNA is just bad. I mean, their booking makes no sense. They wasted so much time in this wild card tag team tournament that no one cares about.
The weird thing is with the with TNA is I just it's 2012 and it's still the Hulk Hogan show. I mean, give it up, man. I'm so sick and tired of seeing Hulk Hogan.
Well, the thing is, he hasn't even been on for months, and basically, it's like he just told Eric Bischoff, "Okay, do everything exactly like I would if I was here, and let's push your son, who's not a trained wrestler, to the moon, and have him beat one of what should have been a world championship contender in Gunner."
Yeah, wait. Yeah, John, you need to turn that down a little more.
Fuck.
I'm sorry, man. I'm begging you.
You don't need to hear the fucking magical crystal hitting the demon or whatever.
I just need to hear, fucking words.
Sorry.
Let's turn on the
closed
subtitles.
caption.
Yeah.
I want y'all to suck my balls.
No, please, though. Honestly, man, please.
Well, I'll tell you what, when we open up the door, so it'll just close off the living room.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
You're all shirtless, and that's cool.
Chris isn't. Chris isn't shirtless. I'm not sure if that even heard him.
Oh, Christ.
I don't know. We're just talking to ourselves.
So, we got that.
Well, it's just... Here's the problem with TNA. You have your biggest show of the year. We can run down the whole card if we want. I'm afraid to. But it's just wash up after wash up, and it's just feuds that are just... I understand what they're doing. Like, they're trying to get an audience.
Do you understand what they're doing? Because neither of us do.
Here's what they're doing. They have Hogan and Sting. They want them to be like, whatever, the two main head guys of the company that, like, Sting's for the new group, Hogan's for, like, himself and the
They're
old
on the
people.
same side now, though.
Well, yeah, Hogan turned face because Sting begged them. And actually, when I went back and I watched the old episodes before Bound for Glory, I got the whole angle and it made sense. But you don't have Hogan fight Sting.
No.
Hogan can barely get in the ring.
He limped down.
I mean, Dixie Carter's cheering like this is the best thing since sliced bread. That woman, she's probably very nice, but she has no business in wrestling. And to watch that match and waste as much time as they did on that garbage, when they should be having a great title match with top new talent, it's just horrible. It's horrifying. And this is 10 years of this.
Well, that's the thing. And the new talent that we thought we had, Bobby Roode's 34 years old. He's not new. He's been there for years. He's nothing fresh. He's nothing new. James Storm, not bad, but I mean, I don't think a lot of companies would take a second look at him as a singles wrestler.
I mean, their biggest show, it's always subpar. The same thing happened the year before, and that was so much better looking compared to this year. That was WrestleMania.
And as much as I like Rob Van Dam, he's really fallen off.
He's
sleepwalking through his matches. It's like he doesn't want to be there.
He's not trying, and it's bullshit.
And according to the rumors, maybe he doesn't.
But what are you going to do?
I don't blame him if he wants to leave. I really don't.
He can go if he wants, but he's going to go back and bitch about it in a year and say, I hate WWE or whatever. Then get out of wrestling.
Well, he can't go to WWE because of his love for marijuana.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
but he looks horrible. He doesn't look, he bathes. He's a beer gut. He's not doing his moves. It's like, all right, if you're not going to perform, then leave. I mean, I just hate that. Why is TNA, like, why don't people try in any other organization except WWE? Why? Why is it less important? Why do people not care as much? Why? I don't get it. I mean, it just bothers me. Like, don't you care about your profession? Like, yeah, you're there just bum the paycheck. Like, look at Booker T, didn't do shit. Look at Nash, horrendous. Horrendous in TNA. Didn't do anything. He just laughed around like a joke.
Was Booker T ever TNA World Champion?
I hope
he
not.
was the first...
Like
global champion, legend champion, but he wasn't world champion.
But he looks so old. He's so awful. Like, he doesn't even look like Booker T. It's like some guy in dreadlocks.
He's in WWE now. He looks better than he did when he was in TNA.
But he stinks. Like, I mean, I don't want to ever see him wrestle again. WWE did a great job ruining that man's career and making me not interested in Booker T. Thank you, Vince.
Well,
thank you.
I mean, now let's move to something else.
Wait, we gotta finish mine.
I'm looking at the card.
Horrendous.
I think as disappointing as Sting versus Hulk Hogan was, and just how that was just thrown in our faces, and we were supposed to mark out for Hulk Hogan. Again, let's just bury all the younger talent. I can't. That went on for
20 minutes.
Too long. 20 minutes too long. You can wrap that up in 30 seconds. I thought the disappointing show or match of the show was Styles versus Daniels.
Oh, absolutely.
In the I Quit match.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't too bad. I mean, we've seen Styles and Daniels fight on numerous pay-per-views. Every year we see that. And, but this is... Oh, crap, that's my phone. Sorry.
It's all right.
Do you think that's the problem, though? Do we think TNA's been doing too many of the same matches? They tried to bring back RVD versus Jerry Lynn, which we'd seen before. They had Styles and Angle. They would have fought each other before, and they're just like, what can they do different?
Well, not only that, I think the problem with the Styles-Daniels match is that they actually tried doing something different. Daniels kind of pussed out.
Yeah,
That was weird.
Oh,
Where
with
did that come
the
from?
screwdriver and whatnot? Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
Well, it was like.
Well, first of all, that was way too violent.
Yeah.
It was cut too short too. I'm like, what? It's like we didn't even get it going with this match, and they kind of like every match. What the length was 14, 12 minutes each for your WrestleMania show.
Well, wow, the Sting and Hulk Hogan match was 10 minutes, and the Styles Daniels match was almost 15.
What about the Angle Bobby Roode match? That got cut due to an injury because Angle had a hamstring pull.
That was 15 minutes. 15 minutes for a world
Your
title
yeah.
match. That's
No.
obscene.
You've been building for what 3 months? Embarrassing. Like Kennedy, I think has been so embarrassed of his match, he hasn't come back.
Yeah.
Oh, he also dyed his hair brown, and he looks really weird.
It was horrible. Him and but that they were
Hey,
really
no,
trying
him
that
and Bubba
match.
Dudley was not bad. I haven't seen a bad Bully Ray match in a while.
I mean,
he's been consistent. I will say that about TNA. He's been one of their actually wrestling in general. He's been a bright spot.
That was
I can't
probably the
take
better
that away
matches
from
on the
him.
card, except when he botched the missing of the
And he
jumping
flipped
off.
over.
Yeah, he flipped over the table, whatever. But, Van Dam and Jerry Lynn was embarrassing.
Yeah.
It was
Compared
so
to what
sloppy,
we'd seen, yeah.
so sloppy. So they're so old. But Van Dam's just not trying. He's
Pretty
not.
much, yeah.
He's like, I'm here. I'll do leg drop, whatever, and then go smoke pot and
I'll do this. I'll do the
Yeah.
whole thumb thing. And
go smoke pot on your internet show. Then if
I'm
you're
gonna
not
yeah,
gonna
even
try.
his podcasts aren't even that good anymore.
I'm gonna make a historical comparison here. TNA is sort of like the Ottoman Empire. Remember the sick man of Europe in World War One? Yeah, they were still an
Sure.
empire, but they really weren't that strong. Everyone was trying to take a piece of them. Do you think now they're just a target for
Excuse me.
ROH to pass? Do you think it's possible? Do you
They
think they have the
it's
star
absolutely possible because you can do everything. ROH can do everything what ECW got wrong.
power? True, and here's the thing with TNA too. A lot of their top people are getting old, and a
Yeah.
lot of them, their contracts are going to be up.
Well, the thing, I mean, like, really, when you look at TNA, there's no X Division anymore.
Yeah.
Austin Aries,
There's
but-
4 guys.
and Kid
Mm.
Cash, but that's it.
Shima Zion.
I mean, I don't want to
Still
sell,
there.
Austin Aries short because he's incredible, but we've seen him before. No offense.
I mean, there's like nobody left. I mean, it's just. And
Because
they never.
they have Styles in a mid card, which makes no
Yeah.
sense. He either should be the face of the X Division or a main eventer. You don't stick him in a mid card and have him fight Kaz, who should have been a main eventer 3 years ago.
Pretty much.
What? I mean, that Amazing Red. Why?
He's
Amazing
gone.
Rat. He's gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's gone.
they failed to put the belt. They
Oh,
never
but
put
we
the
have his
belt on.
idiot brother, Crimson.
And I like Crimson. I do.
Yeah,
He's not bad.
He's Matt Morgan Jr. They're
That's
the
okay.
same person.
He can move more than Matt Morgan.
That's not. It doesn't matter. They're fighting each other. I don't know which one's which. It's like just like T-Rex fighting a smaller version of itself.
But it's like they would not put the belt on that guy.
To be honest.
That could be your face of X Division right there. He can do everything. He's just a good wrestler. He could be a world champion one day. No.
What are they doing with Abyss too? He's like feuding with Bully Ray. That's great, but
Abyss is
he's
coming on
disappeared
for me.
off TV for like 3 months.
I
Abyss's prime was like 04.
think it was later than
05.
that. I actually want to say 08.
Yeah.
I
When,
went to-
when did he beat Sting for the world title? 07?
Yeah, it was
06?
around
Around then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I mean-
that was cool.
He's the one thing I thought was really interesting was it wasn't which one was it where he fought Kendrick?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
X
yeah,
Division.
He was
the
X
X
Division
pay-per-view. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I mean,
That was cool. I
That
that
liked
was
was-
fun. That was amusing
it. Yeah.
because he was in a role he wasn't supposed to be and he flourished.
And it seems like
That was
we
like Jeff
really,
Jarrett being the
MMA thing.
Yeah, being the MMA fighter, which was hilarious when
So
you
the
realized
thing
it was
is,
a work.
we backslid so much since the X Division pay-per-view.
That's
and
probably the best
that
show of
was
the
only,
year.
What, 6-7 months ago? And what the hell's
What?
happening
I have
now?
no idea what happened. I have no idea.
The wheels fell off.
It's probably the best show of the year. Honestly, because everybody tried and they actually did their matches.
But I mean, the thing is, the problems aren't just TNA. Top of the card, WWE. They're not making that much money either. They're not in good shape right now. They're blaming their own stars. Punk's not getting over like he should.
Yeah, I mean, top to bottom here, look at this. Crimson, Samoa Joe, Matt Morgan for that Bound for Glory match. Samoa Joe, that's another thing we talk about. What are they doing with him? He fought, Crimson and Matt Morgan?
Yeah.
He could have cared less during that. I don't know if that's his gimmick or just him not giving a
Well, I
crap.
think this Bobby Roode title reign is one of the most uneventful I've ever seen. What is his move? Hitting someone with a belt? He hasn't had a clean finish yet. All of his matches are crappy. He's feuding with Jeff Hardy in a feud I couldn't care less about.
What are they going to do with Joe, though? I mean, I could care less if he comes or goes, but apparently...
Joe's prime. Abyss had a later prime than
Joe.
Joe. Yeah.
He's sitting on his hands.
Do you think they're going to try to steal an idea from WWE, which they tend to do a lot, and do some kind of shitty CM Punk thing with Samoa Joe and try
No.
that? It wouldn't surprise me because WWE they're saying mixed things about Joe. A lot of people don't want him, and a lot of people do.
I think he's come and gone. To be honest with you.
Yeah, It's almost like Monty Brown in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted him to succeed so bad, but really,
you knew it wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, ever since he left TNA, like you knew he wasn't.
Here's the
gonna
thing
get
with Joe though. There's a big
WWE.
difference though. And his matches now, like the tournament thing, it seems like he's actually trying. You remember the pay-per-view, like the X pay-per-view, where he just didn't care and it was funny? It seems like he's actually committed now and he's buying in. Like maybe they re-sign him and we just don't know.
Who, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I do like him and Magnus. I like them as a team. I think they're pretty effective. I liked it. It was great.
And they didn't win the belts. Crimson and Morgan
yeah,
are still the
of course
champions.
But like Magnus, I mean, like they were just Magnus is another guy. He's actually that India champion right now. The Rinka King. He's actually their world champion. I just read the results. Well, not the results, but whatever.
WWE, they brought Jericho back, but they didn't do much with him.
I just see Brutus Magnus as like something special. Definitely a diamond in the rough, and he's like that blue chipper. If they just go with him, give him a title shot, give something for him to get
behind. They gotta build him up a little bit first.
They do.
He hasn't fought anybody.
But he has all the tools though. I can see it. I see it in him. Like I watched that match with him and Joe against somebody. I think it was like Styles and Kazarian, and just like crisp wrestling. He was just on his mark. And like when Samoa Joe set Styles up, bam, he came off flying elbow. They won. It's just a good wrestler. But see, how much longer are they gonna punch and waste time with these people?
They're putzing around with everyone.
Everybody, they don't know what to
Sting
do.
and Edge were openly talking about retirement, and they're still putzing. No.
I don't care.
Not
What's Angle gonna do? He's
Everything.
beat everybody. I don't care anymore.
It doesn't matter. He can still put some people over.
He's
He can
old,
still
right.
be the face of the organization.
Old,
Sting can do stuff too in a limited role.
When was the last time has TNA ever developed their own talent? Why haven't they done that? ECW did.
Exactly. And this
it's sort of
because
AJ
Hogan's
Styles.
there.
Well, let's think of people that TNA has actually pushed that were world champions from within the organization. Styles.
Okay.
Abyss.
In the beginning, they did more.
Abyss. Somewhat Jeff Jarrett. Not
okay.
really.
Like let's take away all the guys who wrestled for other companies.
Yeah.
You mean like?
Well, I mean, not starting out. Like, I mean, we're not going to count Styles because he was in WCW for like 2 months.
We just finished one thing. Bound for Glory sucked. The end. Yeah. 2011. Horrible, awful.
I concur.
I concur. Yes.
I concur.
Compared to like the year before and lockdown, especially of last year, yeah, it sucked. But yeah, let's see. We got
the food was good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We got Styles, Abyss.
Are we talking about now or back then, like in 04?
Everyone
when
up
it was
until
crucial.
I think everyone.
Well, Daniel Styles, Joe.
Daniels was never world champion.
I don't think he was.
America's Most Wanted.
They were never world champion either.
They were tagged though.
Technically James Storm was world champion.
Even Skipper and Daniels, they were tag champs.
They were tag champs, but we're talking about world. Like, have they ever developed main eventers?
No, they never did. They never will.
To some extent.
Because Hogan, get Hogan the hell out.
Pretty much, yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, I'm like the new talent brother. Yeah. Where the hell is the shots?
Wait.
Because I got 10 minutes of you flopping around like a fish.
Yeah,
I gotta point something out here though. You were the one when you find out he went there, and I was too. We were all on the bandwagon. We said, okay, this is going to be great. We're bringing publicity. We're bringing stuff in. When they had RVD show up and beat Sting on live TV.
2010 was amazing.
Right. When they had all that, and now the problem is it's like rewrapping your Xbox for Christmas, and it's stale now. Like, all the stuff that was good then is old now, and it's not any good.
Well, they're very good with shock value for like about 5 minutes, and then they don't know what to do. Like I don't know what they. And I'm sick of Bischoff's kid. Getting. He's a wrestler now. They're just putting themselves over.
I think
the
one
same
of the
crap.
things is too. They have no sense of history. They lost their connection to the NWA, so everything pre 2007 doesn't really count. And WWE, like, look, if you think of WWE, you think about certain iconic moments. Foley being thrown off the cage. The slam, Hogan and Andre. What does TNA have? Styles jumping off at the top of a cell. Maybe somebody remembers that. What do they have?
They have that. I mean, here's the one thing. They always have that cage match between AMW and Triple X.
Yeah, they have that Hurricane Rana. They have all the Ultimate X.
Yeah, they have that. But the thing is,
they haven't done anything since.
Do they have anything in the heavyweight division? Anything that was like their Bound for Glory that people remember?
This is like if Vince Russo was running WCW in 2000 and continued. This is what it is.
Honestly, the most memorable thing I remember in terms of like sheer magnitude that wrestling fans in general would know is Sting's boots and cape and showing up on a steel chair in the middle of the ring and then announcing that he was going to be there. That's all I remember.
It's just awful. Like there's just the in-ring quality from probably 2009 till now has gone down 300%.
In wrestling
Yeah.
in general, it has. Here's
Yeah.
the thing, though. ROH has been good, but the only problem is a lot of people point this out. They think ROH is too indie for its own good, and they do too many extreme spots that no one
They
should
do.
ever
There
kick
is too
out
much of that. They need to calm that down
and
a
they
little
do
bit.
too many finishers.
I think it junks up the product just a little bit. Like you can't constantly keep doing the flips and splashes and all that rubbish because you got to do like the basic
You
wrestling.
got to make it more special. Yeah.
That's one thing that's gone.
Yeah.
There's no basic wrestling where people are just having a normal match that you see all the time, like normal moves. Like no one does that. It has to be like a 450 splash followed by a hurricane run, followed by a triple threat, whatever. Just do a normal match. It's simple.
I think that's a lot of the stuff you see on TV. Because do they still do the Pure title?
I don't know.
Pure title?
The Pure title.
ROH?
Yeah.
No.
No, they don't do that
They
anymore.
don't do
Oh,
that.
was
they
ridiculous.
only care about the TV title, the tag titles, and the world title.
I
That's
can't
all
keep
that
up
they
with
push.
it because we keep seeing replays every week. Like we don't get the new shows on there, so I don't know.
I wonder if that's a poll to get HD net.
I don't
Maybe
know.
are they on HDNet still?
I think they are.
They are. They're starts with a C. Something broadcasting. Not Clear Channel. Claiborne. No, that's not it. Something of that nature. Broadcast.
Sinclair.
Yeah, that's
probably
Sinclair
Sinclair.
Group. Yeah.
But what's HDNet? You have to have HDT. Well, I assume HD.
I think
something.
you need the cable package you get. You need
Yeah.
something.
But I mean, even them, their cupboards are really bare compared to what they had years ago. I mean, they had Nigel McGuinness, who was great. They had CM Punk, even though I hate him, Daniel Bryan. They had, all these people, and now
No, see, I'll give ROH credit because I think no matter who goes where
Yeah.
and retires or
Yeah.
who
they replace
or
it,
who
but it's
dies.
not as good.
I know it's not as good, but the indie levels will always have an unlimited supply of talent.
The only thing I hate, though, is that if you shaved Davey Richards' face, put him, Eddie Edwards, and Roderick Strong in the ring, I wouldn't know who the fuck was who.
But they're all good though.
No, they're not.
Roderick Strong's good.
Roderick Strong
I
is
like
good,
Davey
but
Richards.
I don't like Davey Richards.
I love him.
He's the same as Eddie Edwards. He's the same
That's
wrestler.
fine.
I want Eddie Kingston. I want a lot of
He's
the
not
older
on the
guys.
he's not on the show. He's never there.
I want Bull Payne. I want Eddie Kingston. I want Chuck Taylor. I want who else do I want?
Well, they were talking about
I want Chris Hero, Claudio.
he came back. Hero came back for Final Battle, but the thing is, he's probably going to WWE. He
He was
wrestled
supposed to go
Roderick
to
Strong,
he was supposed to be on TV for the longest
and
time.
he never was. Well, here's the thing too. They
He was the first CM Punk before CM Punk.
yeah. Well,
He
they
has been wrestling for a while.
Yeah.
2000
I
or
kept hearing
99.
about this Kevin Steen person, right? I was like, oh man, this guy sounds awesome. Like his promos and everything. Like he basically had this huge return match, beat Steve Corino, and he said the devil's back. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I never heard that before. I look and he's like, I can't even think of like a comparison he looks like from WWE. Maybe if Test got really, really fat. I'm like, wait, this is Kevin Steen? What?
Well, what can Ring of Honor do?
No, I don't think they got to do much.
I
I think
think-
they just got to wait out TNA.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just
pretty much.
scavenge.
Pretty much that's all they have to do. It's a game of you just stay alive.
Start making some contract offers. Don't sign,
Yeah.
don't make a run at everybody, but just throw some offers out there. Get the build slowly.
Slowly but surely,
Right.
Get that pay-per-view provider over here.
Mhm.
Keep doing the online the things too.
Right, and let it be known
Because
you
Louis
reached out to
C.K.
somebody.
succeeded the hell out of that. He sold a comedy special for $5
Right.
online. He made a boatload of
And
money
think
doing
about
that.
this. There's a chance that if RVD leaves TNA, WWE's not going to want him back. If I'm ROH, I throw a little money
So
his way.
here's the thing, though. So if TNA, let's say they go out of business,
Which is
okay.
possible. We keep hearing
Very,
we
very-
keep hearing about Pan Energy, but
Well,
I
here's
don't
the-
know how true that is.
Here's the thing, though. Doesn't your company suck if you have to keep on telling the fans wrestling matters?
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah.
you don't care enough
If
about
you
wrestling.
if you have to
if
state
wrestling
something,
matters.
it doesn't become assumed anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if they have to keep telling us wrestling matters, well, where is the wrestling in the ring?
Show
Bro,
us.
there really isn't.
Show us.
It's the
don't
Hulk
tell
Hogan
us.
show.
What do you think kills? I think here's the main thing that kills TNA: the constant notion that they have to get old talent to bring in to get names. Look at Ring of Honor. If Ring of Honor single-handedly bought the talent from TNA and brought in Styles, Daniels, let's say Bobby Roode, whatever, they don't need to bring in Steiner. They don't need to bring in Bubba, whoever. They don't need to bring in all the old wash-ups that TNA has now.
For me, biggest
Just bring in
thing.
the regular guys.
They could for like one night, and
Yeah.
that'll be okay.
They have Rhino, but he can still go. Like that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like that's a guy that you could still bring in that can go.
Right, but see, for me, the biggest thing is absolute lack of a reason to care. There's no reason for me to tune in. There's no, and the biggest problem for me is that everything is taped at exactly the same time. There's no sense of a progression. It's all, even when they do a storyline, like if they do 3 weeks of tapings, you're getting 1 day's worth of shit.
Yeah.
You're not getting anything new.
What's this?
TNA,
Oh,
their
yeah.
taping system. Like, I read the results, I'm like, okay, what is the point of me watching this if I get the spoilers for the next 2 weeks in a row? Absolutely nothing has changed. They have no quick title changes that actually help them, except for, like, Sting or, like, on Impact. That was cool. When he won the belt twice. When he came in, and then a Midsummer Nightmare when he beat Kennedy. But other than that, I don't have a reason to tune in. And then their main events, like, are stuff that they give away for free on Impact. Why do I want to watch Bobby Roode fight AJ Styles? I saw this for 3 months before Bound for Glory when he was going through every member of Fortune. I don't want to watch it now.
So basically, Ring of Honor is like TNA from 04, essentially.
Yeah.
With, like,
yeah.
the talent. So what you do is, if TNA goes under, you bring in Kennedy, you bring in like Styles, you bring in Daniels. I would bring in Douglas Williams, the other British guy I just talked about.
Magnum.
Bruce
Magnus.
Magnus. I would bring in Crimson, Samoa Joe. You bring in the younger talent, they can still go. You have the best organization ever because you have that pure wrestling.
I would do. I would do a feud with the guys who should have been the New Blood versus the legit
New Blood.
Part 2 or something, 2.0. That'd be interesting.
Great
Funny thing
wrestling.
is, in
will come out
TNA,
of it.
all the New Blood is over 30.
Well, that's fine though because like they tried doing that really failed. Remember they did that with TNA because the older guys stink. They can't go. It's not gonna mean anything. But
Right.
Ring of Honor, if you did that, they all came. Imagine if Ring of Honor just the lights went out and their symbol came up and Jim Cornette started walking his ass down the ring and saying, "Oh, looky here," and like he just
He
starts,
hates TNA.
he hates TNA, and that's what's so great. It's a real life storyline.
I think TNA was
TNA.
I think TNA was so hurt by people that they had that they let go that they didn't
So
push,
stupid.
especially early in their career.
To
They had
keep
people like
Russo.
Punk and stuff. They could have gotten MVP, but I think the biggest thing was
They had MVP.
they could have banked on it.
MVP's
In Japan. Yeah.
IWGP champion.
Yeah, and he's good.
He was
I
in
never
TNA.
and he had national exposure.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was.
US champ.
Tony
Everybody knew
something,
who he
yeah.
was. He got set on fire by Kane. Everybody remembers him.
TNA is just.
But the thing is, too, I think they could have made him either one of the greatest heels ever or an awesome face, Desmond Wolfe. It's a shame he had to get
I
hepatitis
know.
because he was a wonderful wrestler. He came in one after Angle. We were like, oh my god, this is kick ass.
The Magnum TA of our time. That's one guy that actually did it right. Fresh new face, right after Angle.
And they
How
got
great.
him right from ROH, and they
And
didn't do anything with him.
Hogan comes and just ruins that.
Because he started feuding with Abyss, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I can't take this seriously.
But they did do him well though because they did keep him in the main event. They didn't let you forget about Desmond Wolfe. Like they
Yeah,
could have
they
buried
did.
him. He could have ran out the door.
They did.
Yeah.
He got sick though. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't their fault. He was
yeah.
in 2010. He was all over the place. He was a part of the Horseman group or whatever too. So I mean, he was right there. They kept him right there until he got hurt or injured, sick, whatever.
Oh, did you put up the non-specific
I don't see- yeah, whatever.
hand gesture they do now? Because apparently that's one way. I was like, oh, they're stable now. You
The
know?
Shocker?
They, yeah, they,
Whatever
yeah, they do the shocker. So shit.
Well, I mean, it's just TNA. Take my advice: fire Taylor, Bischoff, Hogan, Russo, and whoever else has no idea what they're doing, and do a real life storyline. I would call Ring of Honor as soon as possible and say because you're desperate, you don't know what you're doing. Your company's failing miserably. People are predicting when you're going out of business. It's embarrassing.
It's gotten to the point where I can't even look at TNA's roster and say, oh, if they plug this guy in a feud with this guy, this will work. I don't see anything that's fresh enough to get me to care.
I would do a whole tour with Ring of Honor. I would go on, have them invade, and do like a whole big feud of pay-per-views.
I think that's a
And
little.
tour
I
with
think
it.
that's a little bit too.
Yeah,
ambitious.
that's too broad.
It needs. ECW just dove in head first, and they dove into the shallow end, and they killed themselves doing it. Just go slow.
No. When
Wait,
they
I mean-
did ease into it. The problem was when McMahon decided we're not making enough of these small arenas. Let's take ECW and put them in giant family-friendly arenas and take away from the ECW experience.
I'm talking about the first ECW.
Yeah, not
like
that
ECW,
garbage.
ECW, yeah, not WWE.
Because I was gonna say they were going really, really good till RVD's
Yeah.
arrest,
yeah.
and even after that, up until Bobby Lashley being champ, they were
That was
alright.
rubbish.
Because ECW got on pay-per-view 90 late 97.
Yeah,
And then they got on TV early 09.
You mean
They got
what?
on-
early
got-
'98, you mean? Or
What do you mean?
When did
TNN?
ECW? When did ECW get on TNN?
99.
99.
Yeah.
Like what month?
Don't really remember.
before then,
Spring.
it was just a mixed bag of whatever
I mean,
other channels your cable
okay,
company had.
Let's cut us some slack. Let's say late 2009. So we'll give them roughly 2 years. That's no
He
time.
means
99. Yeah.
99.
I think it was late 98, maybe. I don't know, somewhere in there.
No, it was 98 because
Let's
we
just-
had
yeah.
hardcore TV. Remember?
Yeah.
Let's just say 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years from having a national, for having national pay-per-views to actually getting on national TV. Like, who on the West Coast knew of VCW at the time?
Nobody.
Yeah, no one. So I mean, what was the furthest out west they've ever got? Chicago?
Maybe. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, there should have been a more progressive westward movement.
Hell, they even made a big jump when they went south. They skipped right
Yeah.
to Florida. I was like, what the fuck?
What's interesting too, because you look at Ring of Honor and you look at TNA, it's like what you do, what you don't do, because they both started at the same time. Oh, too.
Yeah.
Look at that.
But, well, I mean, TNA, put it this way, they made some big leaps and bounds, but the problem is they stagnated and they didn't grow any further than they could.
And TNA had a lot of slidebacks too. Yeah, TNA was first company to get on primetime TV. They were first company.
Well, we remember how bad
to
FSM
do the
was.
Monday night. Yeah, first company to reignite the Monday Night Wars.
They got their asses kicked by, I'll
Yeah.
never forget, AJ Styles, Hulk Hogan, Abyss, and
And
Ric
Ric
Flair got beat by The Undertaker talking to Shawn Michaels.
Well, I mean, you don't put Flair and Hogan on free TV. You put it on
No,
pay-per-view.
And this
At least
is
get
back
it
when they were winding down.
Yeah.
Now they can't.
Now they're on life support.
Yeah.
Wait, they should have just put on Slammiversary.
They're only beaten by the amount of money they bring in from. I don't even remember hearing about them making a new DVD. They don't even like.
Dixie Carter
advertise
thinks they're
them.
doing great. She thinks they're on top of the world.
She's a
Like,
nice lady,
you
but
have
she's an idiot. I mean,
Yeah.
No
she's
idea.
not an idiot. She just has no idea how to run a
No
wrestling
She's
idea.
very
organization.
cute. I will give her that.
For her age, yeah.
I'm just sick of this. Fans are sick of this. They don't want this anymore. It's either you're gonna do it or you're not, and we're sick of it.
What I want to know is why can't the men's division get half the attention to detail in wrestling that the women's division gets?
But then
I think too many cooks stir the pot in the knockout division.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean the match quality compared to like the other companies.
It's
we-
leaps and bounds better.
Yeah, we can't dispute it. Like
If
it's,
TNA
it's
becomes
better.
an all women's wrestling company tomorrow, they'd be fine. They'd be fine for the next 15 years.
Yeah, they wouldn't. I mean, because it would always, change.
Yeah, you get to see a lot of neat talent too in TNA.
And really, fans, the
With the
biggest
knockouts.
reason that we're so annoyed is the fact that we're being screwed over by every single company in terms of good wrestling. We can't find anything that we like. There's not even, I'll put it this way, WWE, all my favorites are gone. Everyone. The only person that I like left is CM Punk and Randy Orton. I don't care about anyone else. I hate every other wrestler they have. Well, Kane and Jericho. But I hate everyone else. Can't stand it. Cena's always in the main event. Hate Alberto Del Rio. Miz can't get over. He can't fight anybody over 6'2" and over 180 pounds. Rey Mysterio never liked him. Cody Rhodes, that's great. He should be champion, but he's not. There's nothing.
You know who's a good WWE talent, but they will never use him as a wrestler?
Who?
Ricardo Rodriguez.
That man takes more bumps than anyone I've ever seen.
He's watch some of his FCW stuff. Amazing.
And
Amazing.
like, if they're like, okay, you're going to fall off a 20-foot ladder out of the ring through a table, he's like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Is Joe Hennig still wrestle?
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh my god, those people. Speaking of which, all the third generation talent we thought we were going to see, they
What
got
about
their names
DiBiase?
changed and they're sent down.
What about DiBiase?
I
I wouldn't sign him to TNA.
Oh, he won
Quickly
like
as
3
possible.
matches. Oh, he's losing to Jinder Mahal right now. Yeah,
I would-
that guy.
I would take him and right in TNA. I would, because you know what? He is the good guy version that Bobby Roode couldn't stand. That is the guy
I
that
see
has
that.
the money and it's legit, and he could just go up to Bobby Roode and be like, "Listen, you ain't jack, buddy." And I mean, you could just put him over. I would have him come down the aisle in the best suit I could find. I would have his dad sit there in the aisle, and I would have him just tear Bobby Roode apart and have that'd be a great feud.
See,
Oh yeah, I would.
How awesome would that be? DiBiase comes in the suit like, "You're not half the man I am, and you ain't nothing compared to what I've done," and just trash him. That'd be great, but no, they won't do that.
See, yeah, I mean, DiBiase could be a great heel. He could be a great face. Yeah, they don't capitalize on that. They should be reaching out to these third generation stars and be like, "We'll appreciate your, your legacy." No, hopefully they don't do something like, remember Michael Shane, and they said he was Shawn Michaels' cousin, and I don't think he was.
Yeah,
That was horrible.
Yeah,
But if they actually and here's the other thing too. Ric Flair, TNA Superstar, hasn't been on TV in 4 months, and now he's going to the
what's up
WWE
with this?
Hall of Fame.
This
part of the
this is
Horsemen.
what I said on Facebook. I commented on.
Yeah.
They have no control of their employees. You're gonna tell me you're gonna take one of your main event guys that's supposed to be like kind of like the Babe Ruth of your company, and let him go to your opposition who you're trying to compete against, and be on their pay-per-view program of the Hall of Fame or whatever, for 7 minutes and talk about his career and promote the other company? Are you insane? I would get rid of him as quickly as possible because he's not loyal. He's talking
Agreed.
things on the phone.
Agreed. Yeah.
How dumb are you, Carter? How dumb are you? Oh,
They
thanks
don't-
for coming, Rick. How stupid!
And they
Oh
don't
my
even
God.
they don't even try. Like major people that are gone from WWE that hate WWE that don't want to go back because of the TVPG, like Batista. They could be like, Dave, come here, man. We're in Florida. You can take a break. You can still do your acting thing. We do all our tapings at once. You can do this for 3 days. Go away, do your movie shoot for a month. Come back and do the rest of the tapings. Throw money at him. He's still sold. People say he didn't draw in WWE. Bullshit. He didn't draw. I was there. I saw people buy his T-shirts. I was at the arena. You know, he's a good wrestler. He's somebody that could get over. He could kill Matt Morgan.
You know who's a nice guy, and I think they really crapped on, and I think this guy can actually do good in wrestling, is Jim Herd. I don't care what they say. I listened to a whole 2 hours of interview with this man. That man was genius. Flair and Rhodes hated him, but they lied their asses off about him because I can tell people, and I listened to what that man said and talked, probably one of the nicest guys you'd ever meet. That guy made total sense. He's like, when I came, I made sure the production value increased. We had all those entrance ways. We had all the spotlights. He's like the in-ring talent. He's like, we were trying to actually get. He told on the Dave Meltzer program. He's like, I tried to negotiate with Savage. I tried to negotiate with Piper, but he's like, they wouldn't give us enough money to let these guys come into Atlanta at the time, like during like 1990 or so. He's like, I was trying to I wanted to bring those people in. We did have talks, but he's like, we couldn't come anywhere near what the money they were making because they wouldn't give them the money to make it happen. So. But the guy, I really think that
Send
guy,
me that. Send me that link.
I will. It's pretty impressive.
It's
He's a very nice
almost
man.
like I have more nostalgia for TNA as they used to be.
Yep.
Whenever they had like Toby Keith when he's at the height of his career coming in and hitting Jarrett with the guitar, when they had the Outsiders, when they had R-Truth, wrong Killings, dear God, I'm sorry, R-Truth, or Killings, but they had all that stuff.
Quick.
Yeah, and they had Raven in his prime.
Oh,
I
man.
really like the old school. You remember when they had the girls dancing in the cages like next to the arena?
Yeah.
That was cool. I like that.
Well, I think you wanted to see him succeed. You wanted to see him try, but I think TNA's biggest problem is the identity crisis. They don't know if they're WCW or ECW or some kind of indie show. They don't know what they are, and they keep trying to
Or
appeal to all those
WWE,
groups.
they try to clone them too.
Yeah, and it's like this big. I watch TNA and I keep seeing like, well, we're WCW now. No, wait, we're ECW.
We're
Because
independents. It's
We're
like,
independence again. They keep going through that. They just this big identity crisis. They don't know. They
I
haven't
think-
established
And
themselves.
it's like they only get better in the summer. They are god awful during the entire fall and winter.
I want more realism of TNA. I want them to do what WCW did. Remember when it was shot to hell and they brought in Russo and Bischoff in like that live whatever that was? That was awesome. That was one of the best nitros because it was real. Do something real.
And it's getting so stale to the point that it's like if I don't watch Impact and then I turn it on again a month later, I see the same people sitting in the exact same seats in the audience. I'm like, oh, there's the gothic girl with red head and with red hair and the tank top. She's sitting in the same seat. I wonder if they feed her.
What
Yeah.
Like what if you did like an angle? Like what I would start doing, what I would start doing those internet mark angles. Like what I would do is have DDP come out and beat the shit out of Eric Bischoff.
But
Constantly.
they don't do that. They don't do
But
anything.
Here's the thing, though. Like, you just keep having him beat the shit out of him for like 3 or 4 months. You have no idea what the hell's going on. And then he reveals, like, remember when you were hitting on my wife, Bischoff? Trying to sleep with her, with your wife?
Matt Hardy,
do all
Hardy,
that
and
kind of stuff.
like whenever he was feuding with Edge,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was awesome.
Or do something where Jim Cornette comes out and just, like...
Someone should drop Jim Cornette's name.
Well, Jim Cornette would come out, like, in some type of... But you make this look so real. Beat the shit out of Vince Russo. Like, in the back or something. And there's just
He's
no
not-
explanation.
I think he learned his lesson in WCW. He's not going to step foot in that ring again. Because
Well-
you give anyone that opportunity, they're going to stiff the hell out of him.
Well, that's what you do. You do the fans and wrestlers' revenge. It's all on Vince. The ratings would go through the roof.
But
If you made him...
he's never going to take that risk.
No, but
he's
they
never
should.
He's never going to step through those
But-
ropes again.
And their merchandise looks like the same idiot designed it and was like, oh, okay, let's come up with a really gay symbol for them, and then they like get it and then they run with it.
They're
And
not even trying with that fortune, whatever.
yeah,
I
it's
mean-
just a 4.
Well, there's no cohesiveness. It's always like storylining. It's drop quick. It's sloppiness.
I mean, my wishful thinking
mean-
would be for the lights to go out, Bobby Roode to be in the ring, but they come back on and DDP just diamond cuts the hell out of him and holds up the belt. That would be good.
So what do you do? Like, okay, say like 2012. What does TNA
What
need
does
to
wrestling
do?
in general need to do?
Yeah.
WWE, they can't make me turn on and
I'm
see
done
TNA
with them.
either.
I refuse to watch I will never watch the program. I'm done. I will never watch it again. It's awful. It's never gonna get good. And I hear everybody complaining the same thing. Oh, I put my heart into it. I started letting myself loose. Started getting involved, and they disappoint me every time. That's it. You're done because it's never gonna get
They
better.
even made CM Punk stale, and he was the only thing that made me tune in.
I would. This is what I would do with WWE. I would fire creative.
The whole thing.
I would fire the whole thing. That whole thing was a flop. It was fun while it lasted, but this is wrestling, and we need wrestlers to write wrestling.
Well, a lot of the people that they had that were good left. Pritchard's gone.
Yeah,
We thought he'd save TNA, but apparently they're not giving him
Oh, they-
control yet.
yeah.
I was like,
I think he's the patsy.
yeah, when I saw him, I said, thank God, this is a guy that pushed The Undertaker, Triple H, all those people, and then he goes to TNA, and it's like, did they still have him? Is he writing anything?
I think he has that head writer only by title.
Right,
Because
just to
this
make
is
people
the
think.
whole thing is Russo's stank all over it.
Yeah, it's everything that he would think is cool.
Yeah, I would in WWE. I would fire creative. I would open up more FCW locations, and I would train different guys.
And I would intentionally overload SmackDown because we know they're going to be the weaker show just because of where they are. They should have never went to Friday nights. That's where TV shows go to die. Is Friday nights. I'm surprised they lasted this long. Well, they haven't had The Undertaker and they haven't had Edge. That's the biggest problem.
But that's not their only successful show
SmackDown?
on CW on the
Well, yeah, that's
CW.
true. Yeah,
That's their only successful show.
that and Supernatural.
Yeah. Okay. And I would open up FCWs all over the nation. You have one in Florida. I think you need one in Washington. I like to see one in LA, and I like to see one in Chicago.
Yeah, the big cities. Get the big town, big
Right.
indie scenes.
Not New York.
No.
Don't do New York.
New York's too much of a cluster.
Right. And just
And except for the Garden, it's really hard to get people in New York to care about wrestling.
yeah. Open up FCWs. Just train guys differently. Have different styles. Still have them do what you want to do.
That and it's
still,
like
still prep them for international television.
Yeah, and all the people that we hear about from FCW, A, WWE never calls them up, and B, TNA never makes them contract offers when they're good wrestlers. They never get the offers, and they should.
Yeah, I think every wrestler in WWE needs a 5-year plan. They don't even have to be contracted for at least 6 months. But the point is, have a plan. What do you want this guy to do? Where's he going to fit in the grand scheme
And
of the
that's the
WWE universe?
Or,
How's
you
he
know,
going to fit in?
and have a plan in place to change them from face to heel, heel to face. Because right now, there's no faces in either company.
Yeah.
They have too many heels.
And we need wrestlers in there too.
Yeah, we need legitimate wrestlers.
We don't need underwear models anymore.
That, and we don't need they'd build people up and get their hopes up. The Funkasaurus, really.
You had a guy who was a bodyguard for Snoop Dogg. That's amazing. Who wouldn't want to see that guy?
Yeah.
Just light people up? Come on, man. Come on.
And they've even lost the celebrity factor. The guest host thing is just boring as shit.
Yeah.
And
I didn't see anything with the Muppets. I thought the Muppets would have been bigger when the Muppets hosted.
Oh god.
they have no talent anymore.
How come everyone stands behind the Muppets?
I don't know. That's a dead franchise.
The Muppets?
Mm.
I don't think.
No.
This could be the revival, but
Yeah, I don't think.
for years.
For years, they didn't hear a peep from the Muppets, but I think people still gonna have a soft
Well,
spot.
I don't know.
for the Muppets.
It's just
Here's what I do.
there's nothing to get me to watch WrestleMania this year. The pay-per-view that I have watched consistently.
Wait a minute. I think this is where we're going to disagree. But okay, go ahead, Chris.
I'll just say one thing.
Wait, Punk and Jericho
I think the whole thing.
of WrestleMania?
Yeah. The whole thing.
I honestly it's one of those things where I was thinking about it, and with how disappointed I was last year, except for Punk and Orton, I said, you know what? I don't need to watch this next year. I based it all on who the Undertaker would be fighting. Yes, Punk's fighting Jericho. You know what my thoughts are? I'll wait 2 weeks and watch this on YouTube. I don't care. I'm not going to my friends. I'm not shelling out $45. I'm not sitting there for 4 fucking hours to watch wrestling that I hate for one match that's going to be 10 minutes.
Okay,
I don't care if it's Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Iron Man match all over again. I don't care. I'll watch it later. I'm not giving them $1.
Well, I mean, the only thing I would do, here's what I do with TNA. I remember like the XWF. I always like the philosophy. You focus on the new, you bring up the future, and you have the present and the past guys.
Without jobbing out the old talent.
Yeah, you have the old.
Still using them, but
Yeah.
don't make them look like they can't compete.
You help them put over the new talent, and you enjoy that. But I mean, TNA in 2012, new talent. Focus on the younger guys. Focus on the current guys that are up to par that can still go. Start phasing out the older guys. Don't have them in this, many major feuds, but major storylines, and just kind of let it ride.
There's not even a like a newer guy that's been destroying scrubs like for the last couple weeks. They haven't had a new person show up that wasn't an X Division person for months.
And Ring of Honor, what I would do is try to get a big deal. Try to get on Fox.
Not yet.
Try
Not
to get
yet.
on.
Years.
They need a
I know, but
3-year
my
plan.
patience are wearing thin.
You can't be impatient with Ring of Honor, though. That's the thing.
But the thing is, they're like, I mean, look, if they would go to like Turner or somebody, they'd probably get on TBS eventually.
No, they shouldn't though, because no one knows who they are yet.
Well,
Yeah.
when are they gonna know? And when is the time to do that?
Well,
10 years?
how long have they been on HDNet? About a year?
No, longer than that. I think.
Longer than
I
that?
think one or at least 2. I think.
Okay. Yeah, maybe shop around to some other to some other networks.
It's happening. I mean, Cornette knows what he's doing.
Yes, I mean slowly. Just take your time, because like I said, yeah, ECW just rushed right into it and they fell flat on their face.
Well, Ring of Honor is essentially what the NWA was.
Make sure
in
your
the
front
80s.
office is good, can handle the stress of it.
I mean, I have faith in Cornette,
Yeah.
but I think they just need people that stand out a little more. Maybe not, maybe not somebody that's the greatest wrestler. Somebody that has a unique look. Somebody that isn't just clean shaven with a short haircut that's 5'10". Get somebody that has a look. Maybe they're not the greatest wrestler. Work with them. Get somebody with charisma. Push Tommaso Ciampa. He's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty good.
I think next podcast, I think we should. I like to talk about WrestleMania 28.
All right, how about this?
Okay.
Next podcast, if you want to get into it, we'll get into it.
Okay.
The NWA and the failure that it is today.
Okay.
WrestleMania 28.
Why are they still around? What is the purpose of the NWA?
And how crucial international talent is when you bring it in.
Yeah,
How
great.
about that?
Okay.
We ready to go whenever you're ready.
Oh well. Okay. Wait. Well, I'm patient for this one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, we'll do the closing.
Yeah, that would help.
That's what
yeah.
he was doing.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. Okay.
I'm featuring.
I'm Chris Schultz.
I'm Pack.
Thanks for coming. See you next time.